Lastly, we've got sponsorships and brand deals.
This is where it gets exciting.
You basically partner with companies who pay you to feature their products or mention their brand in your videos.
And you don't need millions of followers to get started. Even micro-influencers with engaged audiences can attract sponsorships.
The articles suggest reaching out directly to brands using influencer platforms like Aspire, Creator.co, Grapevine, BrandSnob, and making sure your Work With Me info is easy to find.
And they say to showcase your audience stats and engagement rates in your media kit to show brands the value you can offer.
Now, here's where it gets really cool. The articles talk about combining all these different monetization models to create something called income stacking.
Multiple streams of income, baby.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Deep Dive. We've got some really awesome stuff to dig into today. You guys sent in some fascinating articles from Adam and Anthony all about video and how to use it to really level up your online marketing.
Yeah, his stuff's always super practical.
Right. So what we want to do today is kind of pull out the juiciest bits from these articles and create this roadmap for you. Not just about how to plan videos, but how to actually turn those views, into actual money for your business.
Exactly. We want to go beyond just the basics here. We want to give you those actionable strategies so you can make content that truly connects. And of course, explore all those different ways you can actually monetize your video efforts.
Okay, so first things first, we got to talk about content planning and storyboarding. And I know, it might not sound as exciting as hitting that record button, but trust me, this is the foundation, This is where you set yourself up for success.
Like building a house, right? You got to start with a solid blueprint.
Exactly. The articles really emphasize that, yes, sometimes a totally spontaneous video can hit it big, but overall, having a plan in place saves you so much time and prevents that dreaded burnout. And most importantly, it helps you reach the right people and get them to actually take action. One of the articles even uses this great analogy. It's like having a video GPS. You wouldn't just start driving without knowing where you're going, right?
I love that analogy.
Yeah.
And it's so true. Without a roadmap, you're just kind of wandering around aimlessly.
Totally. So how do we actually get started with this whole planning thing? Well, the very first step, according to the material, is defining your goals. And I mean, really getting crystal clear on what you want each video to achieve.
Yeah, you got to know what you're aiming for.
Right. So is it about building brand awareness, just getting your name out there? Or are you more focused on lead generation, getting people to sign up for a lead magnet, like a freebie in exchange for their email?
Or maybe it's a mix, right? You might want to educate your audience, or perhaps you're going straight for conversions, like trying to make a sale.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not just the overall aim, it's the specific action you want viewers to take. Do you want them to subscribe to your channel? Click a link in the description. Buy your product. You got to get super specific.
I love how the source gives these concrete examples, like wanting to increase your YouTube subscribers by, say, 30% in 3 months.
Yeah.
Or maybe your goal is to get 500 downloads of a specific lead magnet, or book 10 coaching sessions every month.
That's so smart, right? Having those measurable targets really keeps you on track. It's okay, this is what I'm working towards.
Absolutely, yeah. And then to make sure these goals really fit into your overall marketing, the articles connect them to the different stages of a marketing funnel.
Ah, yes, the funnel.
Right. So if you're all about awareness, introducing yourself to a new audience, your videos might be more entertaining, inspirational, or, just providing general educational content.
Makes sense.
But then if you're in that consideration phase where people are checking you out, seeing if you're a good fit, your videos might dive deeper, offer more explanations, build trust,
Right, nurturing that initial interest.
Exactly.
Right.
And then when you're aiming for that conversion, getting that sale or sign up, your videos will probably be more persuasive, showcasing the value of what you offer.
Okay, so you've got to be really strategic about matching your video content to where people are in their journey with you.
Absolutely. And speaking of your audience, the next crucial step is really getting to know them, inside and out.
Becoming best friends with your ideal viewer.
Kind of. The articles talk about looking at demographics, sure, like age and location. But even more importantly, their psychographics, their interests, values, lifestyle. What are their pain points? What are they dreaming of?
And of course, where do they hang out online? Which platforms are they actually using?
They have this awesome example of freelancer Fiona. She's struggling with wasting time on video editing, right? Her goal is to grow her brand and make more money. She's on Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, and loves short, helpful tutorials.
So you're basically creating content tailored for Fiona, even though you'll be reaching many others who share similar characteristics.
Exactly. You want to speak directly to their needs and desires.
Okay, so we've got our goals. We know our audience. Next up, the content calendar.
The trusty content calendar. It might sound boring, but honestly, it's a lifesaver.
Right. The articles emphasize how it helps you stay consistent, keeps you strategic, and reduces your stress levels big time.
Think of it as your video editorial schedule. It helps you map everything out.
And the sources suggest including all the important details, like the topic or theme of each video, which platform it's for, the format, is it a short reel, a longer tutorial, a testimonial.
And don't forget the goal of the video and the call to action, plus your deadline and when you plan to publish it.
So much to think about, but luckily there are tons of tools to help us manage all of this. The articles mention everything from, Google Sheets, Notion, and Trello, to some more fancy AI-powered tools like Notion AI, Airtable, ClickUp.
And then there are those social media management platforms like Buffer, Ladder, Metricool, which can help you schedule your video content across different channels.
So many options.
There's also this cool planning formula they highlight. It's like you start with one big juicy topic, make a longer video about it, and then you break it down into 3 to 5 shorter clips, optimized for different platforms.
So smart, right? You're basically getting the most out of your content creation efforts.
Repurposing at its finest.
All right, so you've got your plan, but how do you actually visualize what that video is going to look and sound like before you even hit record?
That's where storyboarding comes in. It's like a visual or written outline of what's going to happen in each part of your video.
And don't worry, you don't have to be Picasso here. The sources suggest this super simple 3-column format, scene number, what the viewer sees and what they hear.
Easy peasy.
So first column, scene number. Second column, you describe the visuals, is it a close-up shot? Are you showing your screen?
And then in the third column, you write down what people will hear, like the key lines from your script, any important audio cues, or just general notes.
So it's a way to really map out the flow of your video before you even start filming.
And then, to make sure your videos are super engaging and actually achieve their goals, the articles introduce this HVC formula: hook, value, and call to action.
I love a good formula. Break it down for us.
So the hook is all about grabbing attention, right? You've got 5 seconds max to make someone stop scrolling and actually watch your video.
That's a tiny window.
I know, right? It could be a surprising statistic, a relatable question, or a promise to solve a specific problem. They give this great example. Struggling to get clients from your videos. Here's why your strategy is broken.
Ooh, that's good. It makes you want to know more.
Right. And once you've got their attention, you move on to the value section. This is where you deliver on the promise you made in your hook. It could be teaching a skill, showing how to use a product, sharing valuable insights, or telling a captivating story.
And then comes the CTA, the call to action.
Don't forget the CTA. This is where you tell people what you want them to do next.
It seems so obvious, but you'd be surprised how many videos just kind of end without a clear call to action.
Yeah, you got to give people direction.
Yeah.
Do you want them to download something? Subscribe, leave a comment, tell them.
The articles also recommend writing at least a mini script before you hit record.
Even if you're going for a more off-the-cuff conversational style, having a script or at least an outline keeps you focused, prevents rambling, and makes sure you hit all those key points.
Makes sense. And remember, it's not just about what you say. It's also about what people see. You've got to plan those visuals, too.
Visual planning is key.
What's going to be on screen? Is it you talking to the camera? Are you sharing your screen or using animations or graphics?
Think about text overlays, captions, maybe some cool visual cues to highlight important stuff.
And the articles even mention some helpful tools for storyboarding, like Canva, Milanote, or good old pen and paper if you're feeling artsy.
And, of course, you've got to consider where you're going to post your video. Each platform has its own quirks. Yeah.
Right. For YouTube, it's usually that landscape 16:9 aspect ratio, and it's perfect for longer content. Instagram, especially for Reels and Stories, loves that vertical 9.16 format.
And TikTok is all about that 9.16 vertical too.
Yeah.
But usually for shorter videos.
And then there's LinkedIn, which is more professional, B2B focused, and can handle both horizontal and vertical.
So many options.
Oh, and here's a great pro tip from the articles. Film in 4K. That way you can crop and resize for different platforms without sacrificing quality.
Smart move.
Okay, here's another bonus tip that I loved. Batch production planning.
Batching is a game changer.
The idea is that you plan and storyboard multiple videos in advance, and then you knock them all out in one filming session.
It saves so much time and energy.
Totally. The articles even give a batch day checklist. Make sure your scripts and storyboards are finalized, your camera, lighting, microphone are all prepped, have some different outfit options, and of course, water and snacks.
Fueling the creative process.
So the goal is to maybe film like 3 to 5 videos in one afternoon. Then you edit them later and schedule them out over the next couple of weeks.
Consistency is key.
Right. To wrap up this planning and pre-production section, the articles have a clear action step for you. Pick one video goal, choose your platform and video type, fill out a simple storyboard, schedule it in, and start filming.
Just get started. Don't overthink it.
Okay, so we know how to plan and create awesome videos. But the big question is, how do you actually turn those views into cash money?
That's the million-dollar question, right?
That's where monetization comes in. The articles emphasize that, yeah, making great content is crucial, but knowing how to monetize it is what really makes video marketing a sustainable part of your business.
It's about turning video into income.
Exactly. And the articles break it down into 2 main paths. Direct monetization, where you're earning directly from viewers or the platform, and indirect monetization, where you're making money through things like product sales that are driven by your videos.
So direct would be stuff like ad revenue or paid subscriptions, and indirect would be more like selling online courses or using affiliate marketing.
And the cool thing is you can combine these strategies, right?
Totally. Create multiple income streams.
Okay, let's dive into those direct monetization models. First up, we've got ad revenue. This is probably the most familiar one, right?
Yeah, it's how a lot of people think about making money from video.
You basically get paid when platforms like YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, or even Instagram put ads on or around your videos.
And your earnings are based on things like views, watch time, engagement, and stuff like that.
So there are definitely some advantages to ad revenue. Like once you meet the platform's requirements, it can become passive income and it can scale as you grow. Plus, you don't necessarily need to have your own products to sell to get started.
But there are also some downsides. You usually need a ton of views to make decent money, and the revenue can fluctuate a lot. Plus, not all platforms offer it, and it's not available everywhere in the world.
They even give the example of YouTube's partner program. You need at least 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours in the past 12 months, or 10 million shorts views in 90 days. And your content has to be ad-friendly, of course.
Those are some pretty high bars to clear.
Definitely something to keep in mind. Another direct monetization method is paid subscriptions or memberships.
This is a great option if you've got a really engaged niche audience.
You offer exclusive content, community perks, early access, things like that, and people pay a recurring monthly fee.
Platforms like YouTube memberships, Patreon, Ko-Fi, Buy Me Coffee, they're all good options for this.
And the article suggests some cool perks you can offer, like bonus content, live streams, Q&As, downloadable goodies, even access to private communities on Discord or Slack.
And they have this awesome pro tip. Use personalized video shoutouts.
Oh, that's a fun idea.
People love that personal touch.
All right, next we've got paid content and pay-per-view. This is where people pay a one-time fee to access a specific video, workshop, or event recording.
Platforms like Vimeo OTT, Uscreen, Gumroad for video files, even course platforms like Thinkific and Teachable can be used for this.
This works really well for high-value stuff like educational content, masterclass recordings, or replays of exclusive events.
Exactly. Things people are willing to pay for upfront.
And then for the final direct monetization method, we've got selling your own digital video products.
This is where you package your expertise into things like online courses, masterclasses, digital summits, or niche tutorials.
And platforms like Kajabi, Podia, Thinkific, Teachable, those are all popular choices for this.
They even suggest pre-selling your products.
Ooh, tell me more about that.
It's like you create a launch video series or an email sequence to get people excited and start making sales before the product is even finished.
That's such a smart strategy.
It builds anticipation and gets people on board early.
Okay, so those are the main ways you can directly monetize your video content. Now let's shift gears and talk about indirect monetization.
This is all about making money as a result of the content you create.
And this is perfect for entrepreneurs, freelancers, service providers, coaches, anyone who wants to use video to grow their business.
The first indirect method is lead generation. You're basically using video to build trust and showcase your expertise, then guiding viewers towards your paid services or offers.
They use the example of a marketing coach who creates a series of short tutorial videos like Reels, and then invites viewers to a free workshop, which then leads to their paid coaching program.
It's all about nurturing those leads and showing people the value you provide.
And the key here is to have strong calls to action and use lead magnets like checklists or ebooks to capture those email addresses.
Exactly. Get people on your email list so you can continue to build those relationships.
Okay, next up, we've got affiliate marketing.
One of my favorites.
You basically promote other companies' products or services in your videos and earn a commission for every sale that comes through your special affiliate link.
It's a win-win, really. You get to recommend awesome products you already love, your audience gets valuable recommendations, and you make some money in the process.
The articles list some great platforms where you can find affiliate programs like Amazon Associates, Impact, ShareASale, PartnerStack, and even referral programs for software tools like ConvertKit, TubeBuddy, and Canva.
And they give some cool video ideas too, like product reviews, tutorials, top 5 tools videos, comparison videos.
So many possibilities.
And the biggest tip here, be authentic. Only promote things you genuinely believe in.
That's so important. People can spot a fake recommendation a mile away.
Totally. Authenticity is everything when it comes to affiliate marketing.
Okay, another indirect monetization strategy is creating and selling your own branded merchandise.
Merch is awesome.
You can make t-shirts, mugs, digital planners, presets, ebooks, anything that aligns with your brand and your audience's interests.
And there are tools like Printful and Teespring that handle the printing and shipping for you.
Super convenient. And then you can sell your digital products or create a full-blown online store with platforms like Etsy or Shopify.
And don't forget about behind-the-scenes content and unboxing videos. People love that stuff.
Now, let's talk about email lists.
Email is king.
The articles emphasize that email is still one of the best ways to drive conversions and build long-term relationships with your audience.
And video is the perfect way to get people on your email list.
Totally. You can offer a valuable lead magnet, like a checklist or a webinar, and collect email addresses through a dedicated landing page.
Then you can nurture those leads with automated email sequences, providing more value and eventually promoting your paid offers.
They give this example. You create a helpful tutorial on YouTube, include a call to action to download a free checklist, and that triggers an email sequence that eventually leads to a paid course.
Love it.
And lastly, we've got sponsorships and brand deals.
This is where it gets exciting.
You basically partner with companies who pay you to feature their products or mention their brand in your videos.
And you don't need millions of followers to get started. Even micro-influencers with engaged audiences can attract sponsorships.
The articles suggest reaching out directly to brands using influencer platforms like Aspire, Creator.co, Grapevine, BrandSnob, and making sure your Work With Me info is easy to find.
And they say to showcase your audience stats and engagement rates in your media kit to show brands the value you can offer.
Now, here's where it gets really cool. The articles talk about combining all these different monetization models to create something called income stacking.
Multiple streams of income, baby.
They give an example of a creator making money from YouTube ads, course sales, affiliate marketing, brand deals, and Patreon.
It's all about diversification, not putting all your eggs in one basket.
So their action step for you is to pick one direct and one indirect monetization method that feels good to you, brainstorm content ideas that support those methods, plan your calls to action and links, and track your results.
It's all about experimenting and finding what works best for you and your audience.
And they end with some pro tips for monetizing like a boss. Always prioritize value, keep your calls to action focused, track your ROI, and build long-term assets.
Focus on creating valuable content that helps people, and the monetization will follow.
Okay, to wrap it all up, successful video marketing is a two-part game. You need a solid plan to create content that people actually want to watch. And you need a smart monetization strategy to turn those views into real revenue.
It's about understanding your goals, knowing your audience, and exploring all the amazing ways you can earn money with video.
So as you're thinking about all of this, consider which monetization models resonate with you.
Yeah.
What unique value can you offer that people would be willing to pay for, or that would lead them to buy other things you recommend?
And remember, you don't have to do everything at once. Start small, experiment, and see what works best for you.
That's great advice. All right, everyone, that's a wrap for today's deep dive. As always, thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you in the next episode. See you.